This is Rebecca with Red True Crime, and we're going to do a case update. So, before I go into all that, so we are going to talk about a case that actually happened a year ago, a little more than a year ago. I talked about it then. And this is going to tie into another case that, if you've been following my channel for the last year, that I talk about a lot, is Marissa Carmichael. So, we have some updates and a possible sighting on Marissa. So, on March 8th, 2024, there was a shooting at a club called Culture Lounge that's on Spring Garden Avenue in Greensboro. Now, at this club on this night, there was an event going on, being held by a guy named Mo Dallas. Now, I have talked about him at length before. He was a friend and one of the last people out with Marissa the night she went missing. Now, he has a production company or promotion company. I always refer to him as like a mobile strip club because he throws these big parties and these big events in these clubs, and he always has strippers there. So, I call him a mobile strip club. But case in point, he was throwing an event at Culture Lounge on March 8th, 2024. Gunfire erupted in the club. 2 people were killed. 1 was severely injured. And I'm glad to say that in the last 24 hours, they have actually arrested 2 men for that shooting. Let's see. Those 2 men, I'll make sure I say the correct names here, so bear with me just 1 second. I had it up and then my screen went dark. So the man that is responsible for the shooting itself is Jalen Deshaun Matthew Sawyer. Or actually, I shouldn't say the one that's being accused of being responsible. I should say that. The other is being charged with accessory after the fact, and that is where did it go? Oh yeah, there it is. Trayvon Shamir Wilson, 30 of Greensboro, is being accused of accessory after the fact. Now, the people that were injured or killed, Devontae Bernard Johnson, 28 of Winston-Salem, and Mohsen Malik Hamid, 24 of Greensboro, were pronounced dead on the scene. And there was a woman that was shot. Now, she has since recovered, and I believe that she's going to be testifying in this case. But these 2 men, Jalen Sawyer and Trayvon Wilson, have been charged with first-degree murder and accessory after the fact. Now, a Marquise Taliaferro from Brown Summit was also identified as a suspect, but he has since been unalived via a drive-by shooting in 2024. So they are honing in on Jalen Sawyer and Trayvon Wilson. So there is that. So I do want to point out, 90% of you that watch my videos do not subscribe. So I like to give you this opportunity to rectify that and subscribe to the channel. Because I do talk about a lot of missing people, a lot of cases that are unsolved. And that information needs to get out there any way it can. So if you subscribe and you share and you like, that helps that. So let's get into the Marissa Carmichael aspect of this. So the shooting at Culture Lounge, again, like I said, was due to a party being thrown there by a promoter by the name of Mo Dallas. He was a friend of Marissa's. Marissa worked for him as one of his dancers at times, but she was also out celebrating, hanging out with him that night. So he was one of the last people to actually see her that night. Well, Marissa has been missing since January 14th, 2024. So we are now at, let's see, we're about to get into June. We're at like 17 months of her missing. 17 months. Nothing. Well, somebody reached out to me earlier today and said that their best friend's sister saw Marissa with an older gentleman at the Walgreens in High Point, North Carolina, on North Main Street. Now, I do know that Walgreens, it's a 24-hour Walgreens. Okay, is it her? I don't know. I asked this person if any video evidence or photos were taken. They said no. So I'm going to say this as a PSA. If you see someone you think might be a person that's missing or people are looking for, take a damn picture, please. That could actually help, you know, solve these cases because, like I said, Marissa's been missing for 17 months. We don't know where she is. And she has 5 kids that have been waiting for her to come home. Now, as much as I would love to think that she's alive, I would hate to think that she's alive and out running around and ignoring her children. That's just an awful thing to think about, especially with her being in High Point. High Point's not that big. So I dare say if she is being trafficked, I don't think she'd be in High Point because they're going to get them out of the town that they're from. And High Point's very small. It's really, really small. So there's that. And Marissa's oldest child, her daughter, is convinced her mom's alive out there somewhere. This girl has been commenting on some of my videos on Facebook and just making all kinds of statements, angry at the fact that I've been talking about her mom, which I can get that. But she is convinced her mother's out there somewhere. And I can't dissuade this child from doing that because that's hope. All her kids have hope that she's going to return. And I would like to think that one day she would. However, given the circumstances of her disappearance, given the people she associated with, I don't see her coming home. I want to be proven wrong, but I don't see her coming home. So, yeah. But like I said, if anybody out there is out there and you see a person, hey, that looks like a person that I saw a missing person poster or someone did a video about, take a picture, take a video, something, call the police, try and talk to the person, say, hey, Marissa, what's going on? Something. Because we've been getting some sightings of Marissa here and there. The last one I heard was that she was working out of a house on Brentwood Avenue in High Point. And I don't know if that was ever proven or disproven. I have no idea. So it's crazy how this all works. Somebody did ask me earlier about the body that was found in the trunk of the car. That was in a salvage yard in Lexington, North Carolina. Now, that person has been identified and actually has been a person in a missing person case. Like they've been missing since 2016. Yeah, 2016, which is crazy. So the car that they were found in, it was a man. The car that they were found in belonged to the decedent's mother, who also passed away in 2009. And the family is quoted in talking to the media saying, we have no idea where the car has been because the car was missing a few years before he went missing. So there's a lot to unpack on that. But the car came from Charlotte, North Carolina to Lexington, North Carolina to a salvage yard to be destroyed. So I don't know. All I know is that now the case has gone back to Charlotte because that's where most likely he was unalive, was in Charlotte. But I do feel that whoever's involved in that case with that particular one, I dare say that it's probably personal. Probably personal. So, yeah. So many things going on today. But good news is Culture Lounge is closed. And places like Culture, where they had these open events with these promoters, are getting closed. So you're not seeing a whole lot of these bar promoting mobile strip club type aspect areas or clubs opening up anymore. Because it just brings trouble. It really does. So, but we'll just wait and see if anything else pops up on the Marissa Carmichael case, because we've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and nothing else has been said other than these supposed sightings of her. So, like I said, for her kid's sake, I hope she's still out there somewhere, but I really don't think she is. I really don't. So, I can't think of anything else to really say about any of this. So, I'm going to go ahead and end it. This is Rebecca with Red True Crime. This is a case update. You all have a great evening. And again, thank you for tuning in. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. If you are coming back, welcome back. And if you've not subscribed, please do so. Share, like, comment, and all that good stuff. So have a great evening. Be aware, be rude, be safe.